I live in Alameda, which is a 1.5 hour commute each way to campus, and I'm honestly grateful for having online classes where I don't have to wake up just as early to commute or have to work up on days where I only have one class and have to commute 3 hours for only one class per day. COVID 19 has not had a heavy impact on my life. I normally don't have an urge to meet people, so being in quarantine is part of my usual routine. I did unfortunately have events and trips I was planning this summer, which were either canceled or I had to postpone until a later date. After the quarantine is over, I plan to resume my life as usual, attending San Francisco State and working again. Not that big of a deal. I find that working with a schedule is great at relieving boredom. Now that I have a lot of time at home, I can continue to use my time wisely. Getting bored because you have nothing to do is an easy way to feel depressed, and simply having a to do list to either clean up the house or catch up on watching missed episodes is a simple way to feel accomplishment. Personally, I just play online video games with my friends or talk with my close friends whom I'm certain have been following quarantine rules, and I go out with them for lunch about once every month or so. For some, while this quarantine is no big deal, for others, it is an endless amount of stress, and everyone should do their part to help others in need. This summer, I'm not living at home. Instead, I am living with and taking care of my grandma because my bedroom is being rented out to a high school exchange student with nowhere to go. His high school dorms kicked everyone out, and he has no family in the US aside from his aunt, whom my family has connections with, and his uncle, who disliked taking him in and tried kicking him out. He had to bring all of his belongings from California to Texas and now back to California, and it was a tremendous amount of stress for someone still in high school and for all of us.
My name's Anon. I live in the city of Vallejo, California, which is only about 30-minute drive from San Francisco on a good day. On a bad day, it's about a 2-hour traffic jam ride. Uh, I remember when shutdown happened, everyone started panicking. I went to the grocery store to see what they had, Sunset Supermarket down on Vicente, because I live 2 blocks away. I wanted to see what they had, and lines were long. A lot of shelves were kind of empty because the rules for lockdown weren't as solid. There was still a lot of questions like, oh, will they shut down everything? Are they just gonna lock us in our houses? And so a lot of people were panic buying, stocking up on food for the next few weeks, as one should. Luckily, the employees were there. They tried calmly to tell everyone that, the store will be open. They'll have more shipments tomorrow. For me, I was gonna get like one or two items. I wasn't looking to get anything important. So, seeing the long lines for checkout, I just said fuck this. I left. But yeah, so far it's mostly just going out shopping. Of course I can still do that, but you know it's a little bit different because there's not a lot of people there. I see a lot of deserted buildings. Yeah, that's the most interesting part. A lot of businesses, especially in like Japantown, a lot of businesses are struggling because they're not getting a lot of people, and so you see more empty slots. You see a lot of more empty storefronts, and it's kind of sad. Well, another thing that I miss is my girlfriend lives in Taipei, and so because of coronavirus, you know, Taipei is locking down on immigration, so they're not letting in any immigrants or not letting in any foreigners for tourist reasons, only for business and diplomatic reasons. So I've been trying to figure out how to get into Taipei so I could stay with her at least for 3 weeks. How am I coping with 2020? Well, uh, just like any gamer or any most introverts, it hasn't really affected me as much since I don't know, literally like before coronavirus, I literally just go to class, come home, and for the most part just stay at home. Now I don't even get to leave, so really like the only thing I miss is just walking around and actually getting exercise. You know, before coronavirus, I used to walk like almost over 4,000 steps on a good day. Nowadays, I don't even walk around as much because like I'm stuck in this chair because I'm doing homework, I'm playing games or whatever. Basically, most of the time I'm spent sitting in this chair. So once in a while, I'll see the news, but for the most part, like it's just sometimes it gets too sad, and I just want to, turn off Twitter, turn off Reddit, turn off the news and literally just, you know, watch some YouTube videos, play some Valorant, just be ignorant for once, you know, for my sanity. When coronavirus is over, hopefully when coronavirus is over, I'm gonna buy a plane ticket. See if I can do that. I'm gonna get a plane ticket, see if I can get a visa, and, you know, head over to Taipei to see my girl. Because, you know, I can't go, we both can't go at least a year without seeing each other in person. In conclusion, this terrible mistake, this COVID-19 was a mistake that should have been done. It should have been over since May, and yet I don't think, like, a lot of people are losing hope over it. I mean, people are still thinking that by 2021 it is still gonna be coronavirus going, like, we'll still be in lockdown, but it's always good to be hopeful.
My name is Angela, and I am a senior. I'm graduating in the spring with Business Information Systems, and I currently live in Elk Grove, so it's 10 minutes south of Sacramento. My time online during COVID, it's really interesting. I don't think I'm personally affected by it because I spend most of my time online anyway, so I'm kind of used to being in front of a computer and just doing what I like to do, like watching TV, anime, Netflix, playing games. But there are some things that I really miss, like hanging out with my friends, or just like going out for a run, or like going to the gym, hanging out, roller skating. It's really different, and it's kind of painful seeing other people suffer, because right now is one of the most important times to be super adaptable, and it's really hard for those people who have big lack of computer literacy. So it's really hard trying to figure out everything, and it's really confusing time, because, you know, we have more time now for ourselves to think about things, but for some people it's not like what they want. You know, some people want to be occupied constantly, but because of how we all have to stay at home, it's just kind of like unbearable for other people. So I really like sympathize with them, and that's like the only pain that I am experiencing. But other than that, like, I've been just going through the motions, Zoom online and everything. And when this is all over, I really just want to go to Disneyland. Like, as funny as it seems and weird and childish, like, I've gone to Disneyland at least once every year when I was like 7 years old. I grew up with it. I live with it. I love it. I've had a lot of like genuine memories with it, and I'm not saying that I'm like spoiled or anything. It is a privilege for sure to be able to go, but that's like one of the first things that I want to do is just go to Disneyland. Like, I don't care if I'm gonna go alone or by myself. Like, I just really miss being able to go there, smell everything, see everything. Other than the fact that I really want to see my friends again, I do want to like go back to the roller skating rink, like just feeling the wind on my face and everything, like without a mask, feeling that I really miss. So when this thing is done over with, like, I am definitely gonna book my tickets, go to Disneyland, and just go see people that I haven't seen for a long time. Yeah, I have a friend who is actually around the same age as me, 24, and she has, I think her baby is like 4 years old or 5 years old. And it's been really hard because she's been one of my closest friends throughout my whole life. And I haven't seen her because of COVID. And I don't want to risk seeing her. And then like her baby too. So it's been kind of hard because I used to go to San Francisco State. And then I couldn't talk to her or see her because we're both busy. And then I'm back, but we can't even like do anything in person because of COVID. So it's really heartbreaking because I adore her son and everything. But hopefully when this is all over, we can just kind of try to like normalize and go back to how things were before. But it's gonna take a long time to do that because honestly, COVID, online, everything has opened a lot of new avenues for how we are going to conduct things, especially for like businesses. Like, they might reconsider mandating opting out an HQ for just online because it's doable, right? So it's just gonna be really interesting to see what happens when this is all over. And I'm kind of excited for it. Like, I'm trying to stay optimistic because, like, that's the best you can do is try to stay positive throughout the whole thing because you know that eventually you're gonna get through it. For everyone else out there, just keep fighting going forward because I know that at the end of the day, we're just come out of this a little bit stronger than who we were a year ago.
Well, I definitely think it made a huge difference. With everything that happened in 2020 so far, it's been definitely one of a ride. I think more people are coming together and supporting each other, which is really great. And there are definitely other groups who may not really support each other, but that's okay. And I'm just trying to, vibe and stick with the group that I'm more comfortable with. And I've been educating myself about what's happening throughout the world and just keeping tabs on what's happening and just like not missing out, trying to not miss out on things. I do miss hanging out with friends without the fear of getting COVID and like doing fun group activities. I've started my bullet journaling again and it really allowed me to focus on school a bit more, but also allowing some more time to myself and discover what I really want to do. I usually don't go out very often, so it's not too bad, but I do wish I could go out once in a while. This is over. I'm really looking forward to meeting my online friends in person and, just vibing together and making some memories. Right now, I'm just sitting at the laptop every single day and it does get kind of boring, so hopefully when this is all over, I can make some more memories and yeah, in the future I can look back on this and this is what happened and that's okay and life goes on. I also really want to go on road trips or visit parks and just like try to look at all the nice things and it's okay to be unsure sometimes, but just don't give up and keep staying strong. You got this.
Didn't affect me that much because I was in Taiwan for a few months. I've just been walking, chilling, had to come home from school. Too many deliveries. I delivered so many peaches and bread, pastries for a bakery. A lot of driving, No traffic though. That was great. The first few months of COVID with no traffic, amazing. Flawless even. I was driving 80, 90 miles per hour. I wasn't even noticing. What do you miss? I missed no traffic in the early stages of COVID, seeing my friends, somewhat being on campus, but at the same time, it's a mixed bag. I do miss the couches in Rigoberta. Those are some awesome couches to sleep on. How are you coping with 2020? Chilling. I walk a lot. Exercise. A lot of exercising. Cardio. Eating. I do eat a lot. Eat on camera. Somewhat. I'm on Discord a lot more because all my friends are in Discord now. I'll see my friends sometimes, like if they're cool with it. But I usually have to get tested first, and then we can play Catan or something. But that's like once in a blue moon. How am I coping? I mean, I was in Taiwan for a little bit, so I was actually, I was doing fine for like a month. I forgot about COVID. There was a pandemic. Pandemic what? What are you gonna do when it's over? I don't know. Go to a concert. I already bought tickets for Rina Sawayama concert, September 2021. So hopefully COVID's over by then.
COVID's definitely been it's been a humbling experience. Really, it's really settled in how different this world is from the childhood. There hasn't been a pandemic like this in my parents' lifetimes and my grandparents' lifetimes, and this is just the start of mine. So it leaves like a uncertain and troubling future for sure. Fires. I said the fires. It was we're already living in this weird mismatch of a world where we can't go outside. The only thing that we know is utter failure. The world that is supposed to be around us is just not here. It's not there. There's no love. There's no safety net. Really, it's just insecurity. When the sky was orange, it really was. Yeah, it was. I think that was the most humbling experience out of all of us. Really, it really was the apocalypse. I think it really did just describe to me like this is out of the ordinary. This is a world event, and I think that's really the thing with COVID. Bad times make strong people, I guess, and I think that a lot of our people in our generation will be a lot stronger now that they had to go through all this. This is a pandemic, and then there's the people that I think that we should look up to who do it in all in moderation, who are just working out enough health, and but they still go out and they still enjoy life, but they do it in a healthy sort of way and doesn't put them at risk. It has gotten quite depressive. I've got to be honest. I've went from somebody who was semi-active to somebody who was absolutely not. I have a hard time, getting out of bed because that's where I usually am on the computer, and I'm on the computer at all. That's the only thing that I do is just stay on the computer and lift weights every month when that gets a bit rougher. But just coping is it's I don't think I have been coping. It's just been living. It's just literally been eating food, using the restroom, making sure that I keep myself like shaven, presentable. Make sure my sheets are not dirty. Just that. That's how I was coping. Is just living my life day to day, and not sort of facing the bigger picture because it's just uncertainty. I remember the day that I realized what had gone on and what has been transpiring from that was that a worldwide pandemic has occurred, and something that was like fiction. It was fiction until now. I heard of some pandemics, but it was all like nations or cities or a specific castle that had gone through, not an entire world population. And even with Ebola, it was just sort of that. It was just out there for someone else, somewhere else. No, it wasn't for me, but I couldn't escape this if I wanted to. Even if I found my my ticket to Wonderland, there would be COVID and the pandemic and that sort of deal. I cried. I definitely did cry a lot when it hit me. I was in a terrible state. I got real depressive, or I was hit with depression, let's say. Undiagnosed, of course. I know that there will definitely be changes in the world. I don't think that we will have the same customs or paranoid of other people. A lot of more people are going to be a lot more socially awkward. I know I certainly am. Because hindsight's 2020, but this is really a historical moment in our lives, and I feel like we're like entering a new era where it's certainly a new wave of human interaction. The internet's no longer new. It's a bit more tried and true, and there's government agencies on here, and there's a lot more regulation and all that sort of deal. And it's the effects of the internet are finally coming to a head, and I really do just hope that when we can look back on this, whoever does looks back on what we have done as what the best that we could do, and hopefully I hope it works out in the favor where people look back at this moment as a good time to be here. Maybe not better than the future, of course, but certainly a place that would be an interesting place to be.
My name is Dania, and as of fall 2020, I'm a freshman with a major in economics. I live in Los Angeles, so it's a few hours away from San Francisco. COVID hasn't really affected my life due to not really going out before the virus, but I do miss seeing my friends in person and not having to worry about forgetting my mask. With 2020, I'm coping by doing things that I enjoy, such as watching anime, hanging out with my siblings, and texting fellow SFSU students on Discord. When this is over, I just want to go to SFSU since I've never been on the campus, nor have I been to San Francisco before. Really, the only thing that I would like to say is to stay healthy and distract yourselves by doing things that make you feel happy.
I live in San Francisco by the lake, so I live pretty close to campus. 2020 has been a hectic year. At first, it was fine, but then after the forest fires in Australia, things just started piling up between all the celebrity deaths, the protests, and even the explosion in Beirut, and even the Hornets. The murder hornets. But what affected me most was the COVID, due to the fact, I can't go to physical classes anymore and all my classes are online. I've never really wanted to take online classes because I was worried about I was never used to them. I was always used to in-person classes. But this kind of forced my hand to go to online classes, so I had to learn the format. It's been challenging. I'm not used to it. And spending even more time on the computer screen than I usually do is giving me more frequent headaches. So hopefully the next year will turn out better. I definitely miss going to the movie theater. Just like going to the theater and actually watching a movie with my family. But speaking of, the one thing that does change for the better is due to the COVID-19 thing. To get exercise, I can't go to the gym because that's a hot spot. But me and a few of my family members go out for walks every once in a while. I never thought walks could be so relaxing. Honestly, I can handle between all the events. A lot of people seem to be panicking and breaking under pressure. And whenever there's like a new restriction going on, a bunch of people start protesting. Honestly, I'm fine with most of it. I understand most of the restrictions. But a lot of people are more outdoorsy than me and more social than me. So having all these restrictions put blocking on that, I can understand why they can't handle all the things. Honestly, I think I'm doing fine. I haven't noticed anything different. But all the stress is building up from other people to me, so it's starting to get noticeable for me. When this is all over, I'm probably gonna see if a good movie comes out. You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do when the pandemic blows over. Probably just going back to my normal life. Other than that, I think I'm doing okay. But other people are starting to lose patience, so hopefully this pandemic ends and we can expect a more relaxing year next year. Hope I didn't jinx it by saying that. Oh boy.
What are you gonna do when this is over?
Get more drunk than I am right now.
Oh my god. How are you coping with this event? Go home, I guess.
I live in San Pablo, California, and I live nearby Oakland, if you do not know where that is. COVID has really affected my life. I was positive before, and my family as well, and it was very hard for me because my mom went to the emergency room with developing pneumonia inside of her lungs, and we almost lost her there. I mean, she was in the emergency room for about a week, and I couldn't visit her because she had COVID, and so did my family, and we had to stay quarantined for isolation and for health with others. And it was really awful because we were already in quarantine, but now we're sick in quarantine, and we were dealing with awful headaches and fever. Granted that it wasn't deadly because I guess we were young. We didn't have that many symptoms. It was just me and my brother, sister, the house, taking care of each other, and it was bad. I mean, my older brother cooked, and it's not enough about that. I mean, it was just enough about memories. It was my mom. After like about a week, she came back, and even though she had pneumonia, she almost did pass away. But through the help of doctors and emergency room stuff, she survived, and she came back. It was a big thing for me because I was about to lose someone I cared dearly, and it just made me realize that I better take care of what I have right now. Be grateful that she is for life. COVID taught me a lot recently and taught me the idea of loss and how important it is to have a mom. I'm coping because I decided to get therapy recently because losing a mother was a big thing, and I needed to tell someone, talk to somebody to get over with. It was something bad. I was mainly concerned. Granted, it is a little selfish. I was mainly concerned about my family's health because we were going, through COVID during that time. Honestly, when this whole quarantine thing is over, I'm probably gonna go out with my family and try to have it as close as I can be with them because I care about them deeply, and losing them, even seeing my sister sick in bed, having headache, fever, made me sad, and I realized that I have to start taking them seriously and start spending more time with them. So as soon as it's over, I'm gonna spend more time with them and go outside and try to see the world with them along my side. Please wear a mask. Try to stay away as social distance. Try to stay safe and healthy because you might infect a loved one that might not be, or you might get it, or you might be infected, or you might infect a loved one that can't handle COVID-19 and lose them, or you might even lose your own life. So just stay safe out there, wear your mask, and thank you.
I miss my classmates and I miss the interactions.
What are you gonna do when this is over?
Go to sleep.
How are you coping with this event?
Video games because I have no life.
I had to stay home. I can't work. I miss seeing my girlfriend.
Do when this is over?
Eat hot pot all day long.
COVID has not really affected my life besides staying home during most of my time. But however, I do miss talking to some of the people on campus. We still connect over social media, so it's okay. 2020 was a very eventful year. There's a lot of protests. There's a lot of events that caused many people to get COVID, and it was just very historical to say the least. After COVID is over, it's just gonna be a normal life again. Go to school, eat, sleep, study, take tests, all the basic stuff that you used to do in 2019.
The pandemic has been kind of comforting, but then also kind of increased my stress, I would say. I think at the beginning it was really great because I had more time for myself and I got to do things that I didn't have the chance to do before. And now it's just pretty isolating, and I hope to get back to regular life, but at the same time, I'm still very happy for my own time and space. Oh, and also it was sad because COVID kind of affected my study abroad plans and my travel plans, of course, for the summer. So that was a bummer, but I'm trying to supplement that and do as much international things as I can while like learning languages and stuff like that while I'm just self-isolating pretty much still during the pandemic.
I live in Foster City, which is close, 20 miles from SF. So, how has COVID affected me? Well, first of all, I'm bummed that I can't watch movies at the movie theaters. Even though my county, at the San Mateo County, has just updated their tier from a tier 1 to tier 2, meaning that movie theaters are open but only at 25% capacity, which I feel that it's still not worth going. So yeah, that sucks. I can't really hang out with my friends. I mean, I can, but then I have to be within a 6-foot distance, and even then, like, all my friends are not in SF. Only some of them are in SF, and then even then, it's like it's very hard to make events with my friends because all the fun things are closed. What am I doing with my time? Well, I am helping out with my mom. I'm helping out my mom's restaurant Monday through Saturday from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm also dealing with school, so I have to manage my time in the mornings before I come to work to do my homework. And then usually between 2, 4 o'clock, I have some downtime to work on more homework. But fortunately, my mom has a helper on Friday and Saturday night, so that's good. I'm hoping that by the end of next year we can get a vaccine, and then once we do get a vaccine, then maybe we can get back into normal, 90%. I'm just hoping that there is a vaccine next year so I can finally start going to watch movies at the movie theaters. I've always wanted to go bowling. There's a fancy bowling place, that opened a couple months before pre-COVID. Before the COVID, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to do some fun things with my friends, and most importantly, I want to meet new people. I mean, even though I'm going to graduate.
Currently, I guess I could say that I feel far more isolated from before. I live in San Francisco, where shelter-in-place orders and the recent protests have caused me to stay at home most of the time for my own safety. In order to cope with this isolation right now, I'm mostly just trying to keep in touch with my real-life friends through Facebook or Discord. When all this is over, I plan on just going out and ordering a burger and fries.
Well, I mean, being a freshman, like, I didn't get to have an actual graduation, so that sucked. And practically my first year of college was, at first, I didn't mind the online graduation since I didn't like, I didn't really appreciate my peers either way. But looking back, I miss the fact that I could have gone to prom and all of that shit. So how am I coping with 2020? I'm kind of not. I see no reason to, since my life even before the outbreak was very sedentary outside of high school. I mean, I'm gonna move out of this house, obviously, because college, haha. I don't really know what else I'm gonna do. I'm a full-time student. I can't really do anything else other than be a full-time student.
I currently live in the Outer Sunset neighborhood in the city of San Francisco. I was a barista at my Pete's. prior to COVID, with the fear going on, I started to see less and less customers come by because of their fear of being infected. And so our hours were being cut. This was back in February. At this point in recording this, I am unemployed. I was furloughed and then formally let go in August. But some of my colleagues from different other locations in the financial district have been telling me that they've been asked to come back to work and that they've been given their jobs back. But they say that it's almost not worth it because their hours are being cut. They're also being told to sign up for lost wages assistance through EDD. Well, I miss just the interaction with people. I mean, being a barista, like I was always behind the coffee bar, talking to people, making sure they're enjoying their drinks and stuff. I just miss commuting to work. I miss opening up a shift at 4 in the morning and being done, like a 6-hour workday, being done around like 10 a.m., or even closing. There's something about that, and so I miss going back to work, but I haven't had the luxury of finding any job that can fix it. In coping with 2020, it was weird. Like, there were different phases. You know, the first phase, I was just in shock. I was going to sleep late. I would be sleeping in till 1 p.m. and just having like a 6-hour day, you know, and then I would go back to sleep early. I was definitely down a lot at the beginning stages. I started drinking a lot almost every day, and that kind of winded down within like a month and a half. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. I almost struggle to drink a beer. Like, I don't find a reason to celebrate anymore. I don't find a reason to, I just feel like it's not uplifting anymore. Because I was furloughed, I found a reason to keep myself busy. Currently now, as of October, so I'm focused all my life, or my entire day, just to school event. As a photojournalist, as a reporter, that's amazing for me because I could spend time making interviews. I spend time editing and fixing stuff. Like at current, I see the upper hand to just being a full-time student and having my rent paid off by something or someone. I keep telling my girlfriend that once everything is cleared up, that I want to check myself into like a bar, just drink it away and forget, and move forward. I think also it's like experience other things too. Prior to COVID, I had a job offer and I declined it because I was happy being at a barista. But the COVID-19 pandemic has shown me that like not all jobs can be saved in every situation. And especially now that I'm unemployed, it's more of making me realize that I need to like do whatever I can just to get like a well-paying job. So I think it's pushing me more to like get myself out there and improve my resume, attend workshops for internships. My main goal is to score an internship. But yeah, I'm very hopeful when this thing's all over with. It's crazy. If I always tell my interviewees, is there anything else they would like to say? And it's always a myriad of like how they can tell anyone who's going through it to hang in there and be positive. But I also want to say to other people, I think I really want people to know that like to stay optimistic and hang in there, especially for those that are unemployed. As a reporter, I keep checking up on people who may have not even received a check from the federal government, the stimulus check, or they haven't received any money through EDD, and so they're scraping by doing other jobs. It will get better. People will figure things out. I mean, recently California EDD paused their working days just to figure out how to handle a list of people who haven't received money to receive money and working out their situation. I wish I could tell other people who are struggling that there's a silver lining through all of this and we're going to get through it. More or not, people have been lucky, but everyone will get a chance at some sort of salvation and stuff.
COVID has made big events that were supposed to happen in my life either become very underwhelming or made me feel completely numb. And an example would be being accepted into San Francisco State. I always told myself that I'd be really excited when I get into college. I told myself I'd be really excited when I'd be able to walk the stage in high school. And I told myself that everything that's going to happen in high school would be worth it as long as I made it to college. Going online doesn't feel nice at all. I feel like so many things were taken away from me because of COVID. I lost the opportunity to celebrate my 18th birthday, which was a big deal to me because I had made plans to go out with friends, and it's usually been an occurrence that my birthday doesn't go that well and something always finds a way to ruin it. And I thought maybe this year would be the exception, but nope. I didn't get to walk the stage, not in person. I had to pick up my diploma through a drive-through. When I got accepted in San Francisco, kind of gave me false hope that this COVID thing was going to go away, because at the time of being accepted in like late April, early May, I think, Bay Area was doing pretty well when it came to COVID cases, and it was showing promising results at the time. And I just told myself that as long as this keeps going in the trend that it's going, then maybe things would be better by the time fall comes. And class starts in 2 days. Things aren't going that well, and everything's online. COVID has affected my mental health, in which some days I just lay in bed numb. I don't really have the will to get up, other than just for hygiene, eat, care for my dogs or my family. But when it comes to my own personal needs, I just lay in bed, not doing anything, thinking it's kind of pointless, feeling useless, not really having a purpose, you know. I've been coping with it by picking up a new hobby. I play piano now. One of my friends is a music major, and he's been teaching me, and that's the only time I feel useful now, or at least productive, I mean. Mom lost her job. Thankfully, we haven't been able to suffer too much from that, but it did take a pretty big blow at my mom's mental health, and to this day, it still affects her, and it affects me seeing my mom like that, especially since she's a single mom, taking care of me and my brother. And I try to help her as much as I can, but she's a woman that likes to be independent. Initially, when Black Lives Matter protests started, it affected my mental health, in which I was seeing nothing but police brutality and graphic images and videos and just content that left me shook. But I told myself I need to just tolerate it. Something I've always told myself is I'm not black, and since I'm not black, I could just turn off the news, turn off my phone, look away at everything, and I'll be fine. But if I was black, it wouldn't matter what I did, because that would just be my life. So I just decided I need to build a tolerance to it, and it worked. At least for me, it did. And I'm completely fine with seeing this, because I need to accept that this is the reality that the state of the country is in. And if I want to do something about it, or call myself an activist or an ally, I need to first accept that this is happening, and that I need to build a tolerance to this in order to protest. People really have an issue with wanting your fellow human to have equal rights to you, or be entitled to some sort of equity and compensation. What do I miss about pre-COVID life? My independence. I try to be as independent as I could. I regularly go out volunteering at nearby nonprofits because I had such a strong passion for them. Made me feel useful, made me feel like I was doing something to contribute to my community. And I would always travel everywhere with friends. I loved being impulsive and just hopping on like random trains or buses and traveling somewhere and see where it takes me. And it made me so happy. Now that I'm just locked in my room all day, almost every day, kind of just brings down all the happy hormones in my brain. How am I coping with 2020? Kind of just dealing with it. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to sign up for therapy. What are you gonna do when this is over? That's if this even ends. I'm sure it will. But the effects that COVID has made to the globe, it's gonna have rippling effects for such a long time. And I'm sure you're aware of this. What am I gonna do when this is over? I don't know. Really don't know. Cry. Go outside. Meet people. And show how grateful I am for the way life is. This server, the San Francisco State server, it's helped me a lot. A lot. I've already made pretty cool friends, really sweet ones. Had I not discovered this server, I would be so alone. Holy shit, would I be so lonely. I honestly don't know what my mental state would be had I not found this server. Honestly, probably why I'm so active on it, because it's my only place to socialize with other people. Thank you for this opportunity.
In terms of COVID and the pandemic and how that has affected my life, I am now unemployed, going to work. I miss just walking around campus, hanging out with my friends. I mean, obviously, I could still do that over social media like Discord or something, but it's not really the same, and you can't really coordinate a lot of things together that are as fun as if when you're with your friends. You know, I had a routine, going to class, going to work, hanging out with my friends, walking on campus, just enjoying my life, I just feel like I'm just cooped up in my house. So I definitely miss the social aspect before the pandemic hit, but in the name of health, I definitely have support from my friends and my family. If I have things that are wrong, I'll go to them. I talk to my girlfriend a lot. It's been really hard, just dealing with everything, and all those people help me get through that. when I had to prepare for like the last week or so of class, you know, it was really tough. I had a lot of projects, a lot of coinciding like essays and projects and finals just all coming together at once, and they weren't really letting up on the brake, on the gas. I just had a really hard time in that week, and what I did was I tried to pace that as best I can, you know, plan things out on days where I would work in a allotted amount of time and, you know, get that work done. I would say the hardest part is staying motivated and not just giving up, throwing in the towel when, you know, when the going gets tough. I just had to keep pushing on and keep moving forward and keep getting my things done, you know, to keep myself in check socially, mentally, physically, all of the above. What am I going to do when this is over? The first thing is I'm going to go see my girlfriend, and we're going to hang out a whole bunch. But aside from that, I'm going to also see my friends again. I would like to go downtown again, you know, go to all those restaurants, go to the park, visit a museum, play Pokemon Go, you know, all those things that are just better in person than, you know, in quarantine. Good luck, everyone, in your last couple of weeks of school, of class, you know, hang in there with all your final projects and exams and finals preparations, whatever the heck there is left. But please hang in there, and if you need any sort of assistance, please try and reach out and, you know, talk to your friends, your family. You know, I know it's not the same if it's over a social media platform or, you know, over virtual rather than in person, but all those people still care about you and want you to succeed, and I also want everyone to succeed.